Morning. It is Thursday, February 19th. We're 90 days out from May 20th. The DTD2 continues this week. You're calling your M's and your X's. Those could be clunky conversations. And you are texting your D's. That's it. Call your M's and X's, text your D's. You can do that twice today. We're going to talk about that in just a second because we do have Fight Club, of course, 9 to 11 every Monday through Friday. And then there is Dial Night with the Dow Group. We'll talk about that in just a second. So that being said, it is Thursday. On Thursdays, we do Tech Thursdays. We have the one and only KT Temple, the most beautiful man bun in all the land. Although he doesn't always have it up. Like the party, if you were at the awards gala, he had it down. Almost got lost in the shuffle. Not that we have a whole bunch of people with like 80s rock band hair at the Market Center, but I have a lot of people like ready and looking for the man bun. And then he and his lovely wife Jessica both had their hair down. She did not have hers up either. That would be a lady bun. We've wasted a lot of time on talking about coiffs. We'll move on. So we're heading out of here. 9 o'clock today. You've got Fight Club. Your chance to go into KWFightClub.com. Really, it's a study hall. Go in and do what you need to do. Are you having conversations? Whatever you're doing for conversations or interactions, you're going to hear me say this time and time again, because it's not always going to be on the phone or face to face, right? And if we're tracking, and we've been tracking and counting real time interactions through text or DM through social media, so. There's no need to get all caught up in the fact like, well, I'm not comfortable on the phone. I would love for you as your friend and your coach to get comfortable on the phone. I think it's going to benefit you wildly moving forward, right? Because we know the math. I'll share the math. It'll be on the quiz later. 7% of our power is the words we choose. 43% of our power is the passion and tonality in which we deliver those words. The additional 50% is our body language. So yes, when you say to me, Timmy, I'm better off face-to-face, I know the math tells us that. And then for those of us, and this has just become a thing that we do now, like when you hear people like, God, we'll jump on a call. If you hear jump on a call now in 2026, you know they mean Zoom. Unless their company sucks, then they're probably jumping on like Microsoft Teams. Who's doing that? Or maybe Google Meet. Anyway, they're probably jumping on a Zoom call, right? Jumping on a call no longer really means that you're grabbing the old Ma Bell. This one has a cord on it, kids. They have these in museums now. So whatever you're doing for conversations or interactions in real time is wildly important. And if you're texting or DMing your way to greatness, I appreciate that. Keep up the good work. If you're happy to do it, if you're willing to do it, if you enjoy doing it, you've found your genius zone. Great. So whatever you're doing today between 9 and 11 to make sure that you are causing enough conversations, interactions to get a hold of enough people to continue to build your sphere so you can build that next important circle inside your sphere of influence, right? Because everyone you know is your sphere. Next circle in, sphere of influence. These are people that you have influence over, and not like in a bad guy in a movie twisting your wax mustache like, Murr. I don't mean that. I mean like the people you have influence over, people that look up to you and consider you a leader, and you are going to help them make decisions that benefit them, that are good for them. We don't tell people what to do. We help them uncover what makes sense for them and their loved ones by asking questions. It is, and I'll fight. I'm not in the mood today. It's Thursday. If you're talking to someone who claims to be a leader, God, I'm going to a dark place today. If you're talking to somebody who claims to be a leader and they're like, I'll motivate you, they're full of misinformation. I promised I wouldn't swear. I'll save it for later. They're just full of misinformation. It is, and somebody can change my thinking on this, I'm sure. I feel personally, can't tell me how to feel, love you too. I feel personally it is impossible to motivate someone else. Our job is to stay curious and ask them questions and help them uncover their motivation, help them bring their joy, their desire, their passion to speech. That's what we do. You'll hear people say, and people are going down to Atlanta. We're supposed to leave Friday. We're not leaving Friday. We'll be on the tarmac until Sunday. Anyway, we're going to Atlanta for family reunion. And I'm sure there's people excited about Will Guidara, people excited about Gary Vee, and I'm amongst those people. But I will gain motivation from being in that room, but it's going to be because I'll be inspired by what I hear, which will cause me to be aspirational, right? Inspirational and aspirational. Aspirational is, I'm going to go do that. You're inspired to do something, and then what you choose to do seems so astronomical, it's aspirational. And all of that will take place while you're sort of rumbling the luggage in your plane, which is your motivation, which maybe is sat dormant. We have our own motivation. Others will uncover it for us through what they say, through what they ask, and maybe through challenging us. But no one individual will motivate another individual. They will cause themselves to uncover and rebirth their motivation. That's what we're doing in our conversations with the people we talk to today, with the people we interact with today. That's why we do it every day. Or we offer the opportunity to do it every day. Gary will ask you, you'll probably hear him say this on stage, show me your schedule and I'll show you your future. And no matter what calendar you use, but if you're here playing at KW, welcome. We all have a Google suite. We all have a Google account. You have a Google calendar. And if that right now looks like a polar bear in a snowstorm, that might be a lead indicator that we're not really helping our face know where to be to do the next right thing. So absent that, that's why I get on every morning and make sure you understand, here's our menu for the day. Here are the things you can lean into for the day. Best part of real estate, we're in charge. Worst part of real estate, we're in charge. And it's not that you're undisciplined. It's not that you're unmotivated. It is wildly challenging to manage ourselves. It's not like binary on, off, 1, 0, working now. I mean, that's the whole misgiving of work-life balance. Bullsh. That's bullsh. Capital B, bullsh. That's not a thing. There's a work-life counterbalance, but you're making a decision today. A lot of people have their short people home from school. This week is a family week. This week is hectic. I had my one-on-one yesterday afternoon with Shireen Henderson. Her house sounded like a cartoon movie. Still got on the phone. We still had our conversation. It wasn't the normal one-on-one we'd have. If she had more time to herself, she could have texted me and been like, short people are home. I'm getting that this week from people. So in that moment, credit to Shireen, she was counterbalancing. She made the maniacal decision to be like, I'm going to, and we didn't do Zoom, probably because the house was, I'm sure it looked lovely, but I'm sure it was chaotic. She's like, can we just talk on the phone? Sure. Get on the phone. And immediately you hear everybody in the background. But she's managing all that. And we talked about a couple of things and it was what it was. That's counterbalancing, right? When you stand up and I tell you, hey, just not jump on one foot, but stand on one foot. And every time I do this, and I'm a righty, not that I played soccer. Never did that. Not swift enough for soccer. But I'm a righty, right? So you would think, well, he's going to, I don't know why, but I would always stand on my left foot. If he told me to stand and balance, I would stand on my left foot. But when you balance on one foot, are you balanced or all your fast twitch muscles and you're going like this? You're balancing because you're counterbalancing your weight. There's no such thing as work-life balance. It is counterbalance. And you're going to decide today, if you've got your short people home for vacation, maybe Maybe your spouse or partner's home and they're watching the short people and you're going to go do some real estate stuff. Maybe you're not, but you're going to make a decision today. One of them's going to win. It's not win, but one of them's going to be 51% or more of your day. That's the decision you made. There's nothing wrong with that. So just figure out what your calendar looks like, because it doesn't need to be today all day I'm working. That's Gary talking quantum leap. There's work-life counterbalance where he talks about the three, I was going to say quadrants, but that would be a triptych. The three pillars of your life. Well, when you're young, you're learning. And then in the middle, you're earning. And then at the end, you're playing, right? Because everybody's like, we're going to go play golf and eat Krispy Kreme near the palm trees in South Kakalaka, then we're going to die. Like everybody's waiting for after work to go do all that. Gary says, take that and stack it differently. 3 layers every day. At some point today, I'm going to learn. At some point today, I'm going to earn. And at some point today, I'm going to play. And that won't be the same for everybody. People might not want to do that. Like, nope, Monday through Friday, I'm going to rip it. I'm working all day. Then Saturday and Sunday, I'm shutting it down. Saturday's going to be the family. Sunday's faith and family, or however you practice your faith, whether it's Saturday, Sunday, every day. Not that you don't practice every day. No judgment. It's Lent. I'm Irish Catholic. We're just juggling guilt all year. But what if we did that? Then you wouldn't feel like you had to wait until Saturday. There's different ways to carve this apple. And yet, when we tell ourselves that we're going to go do this thing that we threatened to do when we got our license, well, let's go do it. So if your calendar doesn't help you adjust to your goals yet, then by all means, look at the morning news every day. Where should your face be at 9 o'clock? However you do it, whatever you're doing. If you're working on marketing, if you're doing golden letters, you're stuffing envelopes, you're slapping on stamps, you're working on social media, you're building a social media calendar. So you don't have to worry every day about what you're going to do. You've got a 30-day rip on all the things you're going to do for your social media. Maybe you're sending texts. Maybe you're sending video calls. You can shoot a little 30-second video, send that out. That's more novel than just a text. Whatever you're willing to do, that's what that space is for. Then we get to 1 o'clock today. 1 o'clock today, the midday protocol. We do this weekdays at 1. Didn't do it yesterday. We had all partners. We're going to miss a couple days next week because I'll be in Atlanta eventually. But at 1 o'clock, you come to timsoffice.com. We talk about our 3 lead indicators. How many conversations or interactions have you had since we last spoke? How many appointments have you set since we last spoke? And how many agreements have you got signed since we last spoke? Now, appointments, no offense, are not hair and nails. Appointments mean that you're going to sit down with somebody to sign them as a buyer, seller, investor. Agreements, you're signing buyers, signing sellers, signing investors, signing purchase and sales. And then our coaching conversation for the second half of the call, we're talking about David Brooks' great book, How to Know a Person. Then you get into Tech Thursday. KT Temple, our great, fantastic human being who helps us with our tech here at 463. He's on at 3 o'clock with the Tech Mastermind, 4 o'clock with Tech Onboarding. The links for those are in the morning news. Just click those Zoom links. Then you've got Dial Night with the Dow Group. Adam and his crew will be here in Portsmouth in the training room from 4 to 6. You get to work with one of our top agents and see what he and his team do to make sure they're having the interactions necessary so that entire team can hit their goals for 2026 and beyond. That's in person in Portsmouth with Adam and the Dow Group, KW Dial Night. So join Adam for that. That's today at 4 o'clock here in Portsmouth. Then at 5 o'clock, you get somebody who's interested in real estate. They're thinking about it. They don't know if they're jumping into the class. They don't know what they want to do. They've said once out loud they're thinking about real estate. They can come and join our conversation tonight at 5 o'clock. The link for that's in the morning news, and it's on Zoom, so they can do it from the comfort of their home. It's career night. And we'll be happy to answer questions about the process, about from A to Z taking the class, getting your license, joining the brokerage, the whole 9 yards. If we can help with anything, please let us know. You can find me at 603-83. We can jump on a call. 603-834-2856. Or you can book my face at meetwithcoach.com. Enjoy the sunshine while she's here. We'll see you in and around the market center and the internet. Take care.